Hello everybody. My power disc brake proportionate valve came in today. I put it on. I'm going to go up in my yard and get the calipers and rubber brake hoses off the front of another one up here. Back in a few with more. Alright, so I had a fender and an old Malibu hood laying across the front of this car. Took the lug nuts off this wheel and jacked it up. Probably, I don't know, probably 7, 8 years ago, I had gotten this car running. It was complete then. Gotten this car running. It's a 70 Malibu, but it was according to the build sheet, it was a 400 car. It was a 402 big block car with turbo 400 and a 12-bolt axle in a Malibu. Still got the factory big block steering shaft. And I had put these disc brakes on it. It was a drum brake car. Anyway, those calipers were both remans from, I think, AutoZone, so they're Dorman. They should still be good. If they're not, they're under warranty. So I'll be back in a few when I get that off. All right. So I got them off. Those were both rebuilt. All the brake lines were new, so I'm gonna try to run them for a little while. Brake pads are old ones, probably got asbestos in them. Back in a few. All right, so the driver's side caliper, hose, and pads are back on it. Those pads must be old. Made in Canada. I don't know what brand that is. About to say they're asbestos, wouldn't you? They're awful light. I guarantee you the first time the brakes are put on this car going down the road, it's a rusty dirt show. That's where they sat for years. Back in a few. All right, so both sides are on. You know, I don't understand that. Those were bought for that. They're bought for a 70. They didn't fit it either. They don't fit. The lines don't fit up in that bracket. Way out of warranty though. I bought those in 2010. Anyway. Can't think of anybody else that would run these rusty pitted rotors without at least turning them, but I'm going to. Alright, so to recap today, I got both of the calipers on the front. Got the reproduction disc brake proportioning valve, whatever you want to call that, on it. Metal brake lines were supposed to come in today, but I guess they're not going to. So whenever they do come in, I'll continue making this video and show putting those on. I may go up here and lay underneath that Malibu and get the rear brake line hose off of it because it's new too. As soon as I get the brakes working on this car, I can drop my 396 down in it. That one. Crank this car up. Back it out of here. And then, I guess, drive it around the yard a little bit and back it back in here, because it needs to be turned the other direction for us to straighten the front edge of that hood, because it's up a little bit on that corner, just through there, and level pretty good through here, but from about there to there it's up a little bit. Because at one point, this hood had been screwed up pretty good before we got it. If you can tell, that's all brazing right up through there. So it was hit. You know, it's been a long time ago when somebody used a torch and a brazing rod to fit something. So, see you next time. We're here in a few minutes on this video. Bye. Alright, so it's the next day. My brake line kit came in. Bought it from Inline Tube. So now I'm going to open the box up and see what the stuff looks like. Alright, so that's a pretty neat little kit. Everything so far seems to fit good. I'm missing one thing that I didn't know about. And that's that valve. I didn't even know it existed. So I want to go get the one off of the original frame. I'd be surprised if it's even any good. We saved all kinds of stuff that was on that car, just in case at a later date we ended up needing it. And we ended up needing it. So there it is. So I'm going to take the bolts out of all this, take the brackets off, the bolting off, and I'll be back in a second. All right, so I got done with my archaeological dig back there and got that hold off valve and all the brake clips and bolts that I could get out of that frame. Been wrecked since '78. Still got liquid brake fluid coming out of it. So hopefully that's been sealed the entire time good enough to be usable. Back in a few when I get the lines out. All right, so they don't make anything like they used to. Brake fluid included. I blew through this and there's nothing wrong with it as far as it lets flow through. It's not corroded on the inside. Probably still good. So I'm gonna try to use it anyway. If it ends up leaking or something, I'll have to replace it. Back in a few. All right, so I got the rear brake line on with the proportioning valve or whatever you want to call that. And I gotta go up off the parts car and get the brake hose. And then I gotta put the brakes on the rear end. And all the lines are ran. Then I gotta put a few clips on that one when I can find some bolts. I'll be back in a few. All right. So I got the brake hose, new brake lines, front to back, side to side. The only thing I need to do is anchor the lines down and put that bracket underneath the booster. But right now, I want to try to bleed them a little bit. Back in a few with more. All right, so all the lines are attached. I'm gonna have to have some help to bleed the brakes, but hooked up close to right as far as I can tell. Had to do a little bit of rigging on the rear brake hose. That was a 70 10 bolt hose, and I guess the end of it where the axle lines bolt up's different, but I cut and drilled the bracket on the rear end so that line bolted up and they were the same length. So the car's got new rear wheel cylinders, new shoes, new metal lines. Really, the hoses are new. It had no miles on them, but they're, 8-year-old now. The rear one still looks fine. The front ones are a little bit older looking, but reman calipers, old brake pads, dirty old rotors, Rock Auto master cylinder, Osley's front brake proportioning bleed off valve, whatever you want to call that, 70 proportioning valve, and the rear bleed off valve, and all the lines are bolted up. So after we get it bled, I can put the engine, transmission, drive shaft, that stuff in it. Gotta find a radiator, wire it up, and I can get it out of here. But for the brakes, that's pretty much all I'm going to show. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, God bless, and thanks for watching.